Great to have you join us on Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Let's check out what we have lined up for your viewing pleasure. A group exhibition at this gallery in Lagos. Then in another part of the commercial city, a solo show. We have that and more when Art House returns in a moment. Do join us again.
My goal is to liberate women folk from the shackles of deprivation and taboos.
Let's begin the program with this group exhibition by 6 artists at the Affinity Art Gallery in Lagos.
The Affinity Art Gallery in Lagos is hosting a bold new group of artists in an exhibition titled Cadenza, featuring about 20 works of art curated by Asibi Danjuma.
Cadenza is it's a word that basically refers to improvisation within a classical piece of music, and it was inspired by my own experiences as a pianist. And to improvise means that you have looked at almost like the history of something and taken the history and then added your own creativity to that history. And so that's what this exhibition explores. The artists that are being exhibited are artists who know their art history and have referenced art history within their own practice. And so you can see the marriage between the old and the new.
For the gallery, Cadenza is an ideal starting point, building on the idea of improvisation as it alludes to the reappraising of art histories in order to arrive at new and imagined territories.
Visuality is important, but I think it's also important to pay homage and reverence to art history and, the people who inspire us. And I think that is what these artists do with their practice. I think it's very easy to feel like you've created something, you're innovative, but then ultimately everything comes from somewhere. And what I really appreciate about these exhibiting artists is that you can see who has inspired them as well as their own creativity within every single piece.
The exhibiting artists delve into the lineages of painting, photography, sculpture, as well as classical music, and have utilized their findings in building technical passages towards self-discovery.
I would say the technique basically that I use and the patience that it takes to make that technique work. I have to go like bits and bits of lines to and it's in a complex, but at the same time towards making the work look simplistic in a whole. But when you get close, you got to see all the dots and all the bits.
Music generally I've always been like a brother to fine arts, so they usually go hand in hand from as long as I can think of, Renaissance, Dark Age. So it's nothing entirely new that we're having piano music featured today at the exhibition here at Affinity Gallery. But then particular about this piece that I titled Imagination. I try to imagine a real world where we have peace and harmony. You know, the music starts with a very much calmness and serenity, kind of. Then, you know, at a point in time, there's some kind of uncertainty where you're not sure where the music could go, and ends in a question like, you know, if I should use musical term and say it ends in a imperfect cadence, you know, then where the main theme reoccurred again, more of an assurance, you know, that, okay, yeah, the world can be in harmony. Somewhere later in the music too, it gets a little bit turbulent, and, you know, you can see some kind of aggression in the music. So, but at the end of it, there's even a much more emphasized reassurance of peace and harmony. So that's basically what the music is all about.
I'm showing a work that kind of like explains like the trajectory of my career over the past 7 years. To my right there, that's an image from Port Harcourt. It's from 2016, and I think the closest here is 2022. So it ranges as like 6 years gap in between, but documenting basically people, places, culture, food, basically everyday Nigerian and African life. But for this particular one, I tried to highlight parts of the country that I've been to. So a little bit of landscape and also a little bit of portraiture. But if you notice with the portraiture, there's a lot of like monochrome to try to like kind of take away the distraction from, so you can like actually like take time to kind of like dive into what the images are. So the idea basically is to kind of take the audience on a journey, but a very familiar journey, you know, like a journey from home. People are kind of used to the idea of finding very foreign pictures or pictures of Nigeria taken by foreigners. And this is pictures of Nigeria by Nigerians. So it has a little bit of like sensitivity towards how this subject is approached. And yeah, I basically just wanted to kind of show people the country I was from, but from a more artistic like point.
By reorganizing the canon of their disciplines, the artists draw history closer to them.
There was something that actually happened during the Boko Haram insurgency. Boko Haram attacked barrack clusters, and they killed 2 of my friends, who we are not really too close, but then we were friends. And after that attack, I realized something about life, that there are times when you don't even know that you really love some people until when something happens. Yeah. So that was what inspired the first work, that's The Petals of Love. Then the second one, Misfire. There was this point in time when there were serious these cases of misfire from the side of the military, and I used to barb also. And my shop, barbing salon, is close to the barracks. So sometimes the soldiers will come from the bush, like they want to like do 1 or 2 things in the barracks before they go back to the bush again. So, you know, as military, they want to shave before they come in. So sometimes you see the soldiers would keep your gun like this, looking upward and imbibing them, I'll be like, what if there is something like misfire again? How will I do like this? But thank God nothing happens. Yeah.
The work is just trying to capture the particular moment of the Owambe party where we take pictures in groups and all those things, and especially with the fabrics. I think with the Nigerian parties, we always go with this African materials and sewing and coals and the rest. So, and after making all those pictures, or during the process of taking the picture, we all stand together and all take. So that's just the moment I'm just trying to capture in the works.
The works on display majorly were all inspired by my dance experiences. So basically I tried to capture the moments in my dance space. It's just beyond the movement for me, because it's more like I embody some personality, some experiences at a particular time. Like the one right here, it's titled Through the Pleasures. It's like the pleasurable desires that come with the whole expressiveness and everything. Well, if you look closely, maybe later on, there's an hollow in between. So there's always that insatisfaction, even though you are pleasured and you always want to go back there and do more and the one further is shapeshifter. I was trying to capture the shape-shifting ability of a dancer, or even just humans generally, but using the dancer's point of view. So as dancers, I don't know if you're familiar with contortionists, people who twist their body, So the whole essence why dancers go through all those body rigorous action is just to give everyone a different perspective to what can be. The same with us as humans, we bend and twist our nature, our values, just to see what else could be. So that's just basically what it's all about.
These artists have once again brought a fresh flavour to the gallery space, which has been showcasing the pieces done by young and contemporary minds.
Our wordsmith for today is Don't Be As Cheap As a Chip by Chichi Alinta. Of what you're making to be marring, you I see pursuing multitudes instead of showing an attitude. Are you as cheap as a chip? Can a flower be appreciated if not admired? Be of quality, not of quantity. Better to nourish your health than your wealth. Have a price to win a prize. Don't be as cheap as a chip.
Thank you so much, Chichi, our wordsmith, for this week. Let's take a moment now on the program. We return with more. Join us again.
And these are the works of art you sent in recently. Most of the artists are capturing things from the female perspective. Let's begin with this one by Michael Adetula, titled Woman. It's a mixed media on canvas work. Then Paul Ogunlesi decided to give us a Spanish flavor with this work he called Espíritu Fortuna, which means the spirit of fortune. It's done with charcoal on acid-free paper. Then Living in Nigerian Bondage is a work by Elizabeth Omori done with charcoal, pencil and paper. Then Early Marriage is an acrylic on canvas work done by Istikan Abasi. Women in the Harem is an acrylic on canvas piece by George Abe. While Inertia is a charcoal and pastel on paper piece by Ekundayo Temitope. He says, for neither of us can sing without the other. Dreams is a charcoal and graphite paper by Shea Pencil. While this drawing, done with charcoal pencil on paper, is done by Amuson Joshua. Then we wrap things up with this work by Ogechi Animashaun. It's a pastel painting of the popular artist Burna Boy. And that concludes the works of art you sent in recently. We appreciate you as always for sending them in and encourage you to keep them coming.
Toys for Troys is a solo exhibition by Dauda Mohammed at the Signature Beyond Gallery in Lagos.
Using three-dimensional art displaying the beauty of two-wheeler themes on mixed media with style and ingenuity is what contemporary artist Dauda Mohammed is doing in Toys for Troys, his solo exhibition at Signature Beyond Gallery in Lagos.
Toys for the warriors of Troy, toys for the heroes of Troy. I drew this inspiration from the story of the warriors of Troy. They were known as warriors and they fought so many wars. And one of the popular wars is the Trojan War. And Trojan War broke out as a result of Paris, which is son of the prince, the king of Troy, abducting Helen, the queen of Sparta.
As explained by this experimental artist, the strength of ancient Greek mythology are revived and linked to modern times to bring a new angle, conversation and perspective for the art community to feast on.
These guys were known as warriors, and during these wars, they used horses. They see these horses as toys. So I now imagine if these warriors were to live today, in our own time, what is going to be their toys? I couldn't think of any other thing than the Harley Davidson of this world and the Vespa, because looking at history, they've been around for so long, and these machines are iconic, they are strong and durable. So I use them to replace those horses that the people of Troy were using during.
When he was doing all these things, he went through a lot of pains to get this thing coupled. And me looking at it myself when I got today at the exhibition to see what he has done so far, I was so impressed, so amazed that I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. Because for somebody to use nail and couple it together to make such thing we're looking at is very impressive.
All sorts of elements are infused to create these pieces. He uses wood nails, push pins, automobile paint, screws, and other found objects to make something spectacular and unique pieces that reveal where his passion lies.
I drew the inspiration from the love I have for 3D art and pointillism. And if you look at the work, mostly I have 5 colors there, which is yellow, blue, red, then black and white. But the amazing thing with this work is that when you look at it from a very close range, the only thing you see is the objects. You won't really see the body of the work. But when you step back or you use your phone to view it, then you see the image. Then you even begin to see other colors that were not originally out of the 5 colors that I use.
That has been with Signature for a couple of years. It's been with us now for over 7 years, and we've been producing some fantastic works that even most of them we've shipped abroad, because we have people that really know about Ray McCoy concerning art. They've acquired his work a lot. And this particular work you are seeing, it took like 2 years for him to accomplish them, because it's really a painstaking work. Imagine each of the work has about 3,000, some 16,000 screws, some 10,000 numbers of nails to accomplish this. So in order to bring these forms and beauty out for, to adorn our eyes, it's a lot of work that he has done.
The graduate of biochemistry from the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, has a certificate in graphics and 3D animation from Aptech. He spent 12 years in the banking industry before leaving in 2015 to focus on his passion, art.
Interesting exhibition there, and it gets even more exciting, but that will be on the next episode of Art House.
Next week on Art House. Aphornament, a solo exhibition of art and crafts by Ifeanyi Chukwu Oraimeka in Lagos. To another solo exhibition by Ciciano Paulo titled We Are Okay, But We Are Not Like Before at Kokopelli Gallery in Lagos. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing, and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever-bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program this week. We appreciate your time with us and look forward to interacting with you on our various social media platforms. Till then, I encourage you to stay safe and keep being creative.